Choosing the right light is important, but the really creative part begins not with the light source, but with shaping your light. As you've seen last episode, if you haven't watched it yet, you can just click here. We have tried different light sources, but they all didn't look very aesthetic, they were very harsh and they had very dark shadows. So to remedy that, we can shape the light by using diffusers or using indirect light. First, the diffusers. Simplest option would be those 15 euros collapsible disc panels, which can give you a really hard time if you don't know how to collapse them the right way. And it already looks slightly better. Keep in mind that when you use a diffuser, the diffuser becomes the light source. So when you go closer to your subject and further away from your light source, the light becomes even softer. That is because the closer/bigger the light source is, the softer the light becomes. Also, you get those very delicious light reflections in the eyes depending on your diffuser or light shaper. If you have a little bit more money, you can build yourself some wooden frames and just put soft frost or grit cloth over it. My personal favorite is grit cloth because of all my diffusers, it feels like it gives me the most aesthetic light. Now bounce light. The cheapest way to bounce your light is by using a piece of polystyrene. The polystyrene is small and further away from the subject, so it's a bit harsher than the diffuser. To keep a natural round-shaped eye reflection and for run and gun bouncing, I've built myself this shield of polystyrene, which works just fine. But you don't even need that. You can also bounce your light off pretty much everything. For example, in small rooms I bounce the light off the ceiling or the walls as long as the walls are white. Or you can use the polystyrene to lighten up your shadows to prevent details from getting lost. And if that's not soft enough, you can now also bounce and diffuse the light, but keep in mind with every bounce and diffusion you lose some light, so I would recommend to at least use a 800 watt open phase redhead, for example. In this case I use my 1000 watt Headler light. Okay, so that was just a very basic idea of shaping light. Now comes the part where you can get really creative. For example, Robert Richardson, the director of photography in the movies Hateful Eight or Casino, often uses tables to bounce a hard light source into the actors' faces. Legend says he even bounced a hard light source from Samuel L. Jackson's beard into another actor's face. When you now even go a step further, then you use your light and light shaping to support or tell your story. Pretty sure I will do 1 or 2 episodes on this topic, but that's it for now. As always, somewhere something incredible is waiting to be created. Cheerio!